Hi everybody, it's Dawn Parks with Shimula. I am here to talk about the Great Resignation. I'm a couple hours later than I normally am, but trying to get out of town to go see my daughter took a little bit longer than I expected. And I wanted to be fresh and really available when I chatted with everybody. So I'm at a rest area here in Indiana off of Interstate 74. And golly gee, there's a whole lot of people. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is because it seems to be appropriate given this whole idea of, are you jumping? Are you resigning? Are you thinking about doing something new? And as we approach the holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas, I know for me, in many ways, I was really grateful that I had made the jump a couple of years ago to having my own company with Liz. And it gave me a different kind of a lifestyle business in some ways, where I could, if I wanted to drive 7 hours to see my daughter, I could. And because of the nature of computers, I could do my work wherever I needed to in case I had a client call or something like that was going to be happening. So today, though, I'm thinking about all of these people that are on the road on their way to somewhere. Now, why is that important today? Well, if you think about making a jump, right? I've used the shampoo examples in the past, but I mean, I make this drive a lot and I don't ever see this many people. I'm like, where are they going? Where do they live? What do they do for a living? And somehow the earth still keeps providing for them. Somehow the world still is giving them jobs. I mean, you have to have a job or income of some sort to be able to get in your car and drive from your home somewhere. I mean, even if you're just going to the grocery store, somehow people have an income and they're able to do that. And as I'm driving from Cincinnati through Indiana, and then I'm going to start to head up through Illinois, I'm going to see more and more of these cars and more of these people. And I'm struck by the fact that there really is work to be done. There are things that you can do, right? Whatever you're doing today in your current job, however it is that you are making a living. But also, if you want to make a big jump, there's got to be other things that are available. You just have to make a decision, because there are so many people, so many companies, so many things to be produced, so many people to be coached, so many consultants that need to be able to apply their wares inside of companies. And it just reminded me that even though like 4 million people are quitting their jobs every month, that means either there's new jobs open or there's opportunities for contracts, there's opportunities for consulting, because now companies have these gaping holes in their company because they can't find anybody to do that work. So especially if you're a C-level executive thinking to make a jump, maybe one of the things to consider is to become a fractional CFO or COO or C, whatever your specialty is, because those jobs are now open. There are people in demand. And if there's all these people that can be driving up and down the highway the way that they are, that means there's more and more, either they have income or they're figuring something out and you can figure it out too. Last night Shimula held an alumni event in Cincinnati, and quite a few of our alumni were able to attend just to kind of say thank you to folks for having, been a part of our business for the last couple of years. And one of the guys that was there, he said, I want to know about all this Great Resignation because it is really screwing up my business. And this gentleman owns a business where they're making seltzers, like you think about some of the beer-based seltzers, vodka-based seltzers, and they've launched a new company, and they cannot find workers at all. And he's about out of his mind because no matter what, they can't find people. So there are opportunities for us to be able to go and support some of the companies that need to fill these gaps. And maybe it's to help them. Maybe you can bring your recruiting skills and support them in finding people. Maybe you, like I said before, be a fractional something for some of these organizations. So it's time to get creative, time to try something new, time to think way outside the box than you have thought about before. And I say that because as we go into Thanksgiving, it's time to be thankful for the skills that you have, the brain that you have, the capacities that you have, and realize that quite often we're our own limiting factor, that we've been put on this earth to produce something. And I don't know what that is for you, right? But my whole motto is live to your full potential and die with no regrets. So what's yours? What can you be thankful for? And how can you think about it in terms of the Great Resignation? What are the skills that you bring, that you can bring to the Great Resignation? What are the dreams that you have that you can bring to the Great Resignation? And think about all of these people, like I said, the cars, the trucks, everybody's going by, a lot of people here at the rest area, and they all are either working or not working. And it just reminds me that there's opportunity abounding. And I want to remind you of the other example that I gave, I think it was last week one day, about the shampoos. So here's what happens. If you go in Cincinnati, it's Kroger or it's, CVS, one of the grocery stores. If you go into one of those places and you go to buy shampoo, there's all kinds of them, right? They all have different colors, different smells, different labels. Some are for dry hair, some curly hair, some for oily hair, some for blonde hair, some for people who have natural hair. There's everything that you can imagine in terms of a shampoo, right? So there's always room for one more. You just have to figure out where you fit in there. So where do you fit in the traffic? Where do you fit in all of the openings that are available? How can you take your skills, if you're thinking about jumping, and turn that into something that a big company can use? We don't always have to go out on our own and try to be unique and special and different. And a lot of times we leave our companies that we've been working at for years because we don't feel honored. We don't feel like we've been acknowledged for the work that we have done over the years. But the truth is, I don't know that we ever will get that. I think sometimes we have to look deep inside of ourselves to get that. And so when you go to make a jump, you're not going to have an external group of people to support you. So I don't know why I just went that direction. But anyway, you're not gonna have someone to tell you what a good job you're doing. So instead, because you don't have to be unique, right? You don't necessarily, you are a unique human being, but a lot of the work that we do isn't necessarily unique in the world. And so when you're getting ready to make the jump, you can start to think about, how do I take my skills and use them for people that really have problems? People will pay for the problems. So when I think about all of the people who have lost their executive suite folks, they've lost a lot of their mid-level managers, how can you come in and support them? By creating your own company as you make the jump. So instead of thinking, I have to create this really big company and all this website and all these logos and all this other stuff, and now I have to go out and market myself, the reality is there's probably a company right next door, within a mile, really struggling. And you might be able to bring your skills as a contractor and make even more money. And that might be a great way to get launched. So as you think about the weekend, you think about being thankful, think about your brain and how grateful you can be that you can think outside the box. Because when you make that big jump, it's going to require thinking outside the box in a way you never have before. And I know you can do it. Liz knows you can do it. That's why we're providing this conversation. And if you're a company and you're trying to figure out how can you support, not how can you support, but if you're a big company and you need some support, we know people who can support you. We know people who are recruiters. We know people who can be fractional CEOs, CFOs, COOs, C whatevers, and we can connect you with those folks no matter where you are. So whether you are a person jumping from a company or you're a company that needs some support, let us know. It takes all of us to make it happen. And in this Thanksgiving weekend, we can be thankful that we are well connected, that you are well connected, that all of us are well connected. Anything we need is at our fingertips. And we often forget that. We try to do it alone. And just cut it out. Be thankful for all of your friends, all of your family, all of the places that you can live, all of the places that you're traveling, all the great food that you're going to have on the table, even if you splurged on your budget just to make it happen this weekend. I'm personally thankful for the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I can't to spend the day having some orange rolls and cinnamon rolls with my daughter first thing tomorrow. But anyway, I just wanted to share that idea, this whole idea that there are so many people on the road and they all have jobs or they don't have jobs, but everybody's going somewhere and you can hop in your car and go somewhere too. Head out on your dream. There's a road for you and we would love to be able to help you. And with that, I'm going to sign off. And I hope you really have a most enjoyable Thanksgiving, and I'll be back on Monday. Thanks for joining us.